Brother, answer me one question right now, and be brutally honest. If the woman you're falling for looked you in the eyes tonight and said, "I've slept with 27 guys before you," would your stomach drop? Good. That feeling isn't insecurity. That feeling is your biology screaming the truth nobody is allowed to say. Welcome to Prime Male Evolution, the channel for men, 30-50 who are done with half-truths. Today we're going all the way in on the most taboo male preference of all, the deep, instinctive desire for a woman with few or zero previous sexual partners. If you've ever felt even a flicker of unease when she casually mentioned, "I've been with a lot of guys," keep listening. This video is going to hand you the science, the biology, and the unfiltered truth, so you can stop second-guessing your gut and start trusting it. Hit like right now, because every brother watching this needs to hear what society will never tell him. Let me take you back to my early 20s, to the moment that hit me like a freight train. I was 6 months into what I thought was the perfect relationship. We were lying in bed after sex, talking about the future. She laughed and said, "You're number 14, by the way. Hope that's not too many." 14. The room didn't spin. It just went quiet. I still remember the exact smell of her hair on the pillow, while my chest felt like it was filling with concrete. I smiled, kissed her forehead, and said, "No problem at all." But inside, something cracked. Not anger, not jealousy. Something deeper. A cold, primal certainty that I had just invested my heart in a future that biology never signed off on. I felt a primal loss of respect. It felt like betrayal, like she had cheated on me before I even met her. That night I couldn't sleep. I opened my laptop and started digging. What I found over the next months rewired everything I thought I knew about love, loyalty, and what men are actually wired to want. Here's the truth nobody is allowed to say out loud. Men's strongest instinct in long-term mate selection is a woman with few or zero previous sexual partners. This is not religion. This is not culture. This is not insecurity. This is hundreds of thousands of years of evolutionary programming screaming, "Choose the woman whose children are most likely to be yours and whose bond with you is most likely to last." Let's start with the part everyone already knows but pretends not to. Paternity certainty. For almost all of human history, there was no DNA test. The only way a man could be reasonably sure the child he was hunting mammoths for was actually his was if his woman had no other sexual partners. That's why every culture on Earth, from ancient Rome to tribal Papua New Guinea, placed massive value on female chastity and virginity for marriage. It wasn't oppression, it was survival. Fast forward to 2025. We have paternity tests now. So the preference should have disappeared, right? Wrong. Study after study, from the Institute for Family Studies to the National Marriage Project, shows the exact same pattern. Women with 0 to 1 lifetime partners have the lowest divorce risk. Women with 10+ premarital partners have the highest, sometimes 300 to 400% higher. Women with higher counts also report lower relationship satisfaction, higher rates of infidelity, and higher rates of single motherhood. The data is so consistent, it's almost boring. But paternity certainty is only the beginning. Here's what most men feel but can't explain. Every new sexual partner a woman has chips away at her ability to pair bond. Imagine a woman's pair bonding capacity as a fresh strip of high-quality tape designed to form one deep, lasting adhesion with a single surface. Each time she engages in casual sex with a new partner, that tape is pressed onto another surface and then ripped away, leaving behind residue and weakening its stickiness. With every successive encounter, the tape loses more of its original adhesive power, becoming lint-covered, stretched, and less able to form the strong, exclusive bond it was biologically intended for. By the time it's been reused dozens of times, what remains is a limp, dirty piece that barely clings to anything, no matter how much you want it to hold forever. Just as no one reaches for the battered roll of tape at the back of the drawer when a permanent seal is needed, that crusty, half-sticky piece of tape might still work on some level. But no man with options is ever going to choose it to seal something he wants to last forever. Men instinctively sense when a woman's capacity for deep, loyal attachment has been diminished by repeated use, and their desire to commit permanently fades in exactly the same proportion. During sex, women release massive amounts of oxytocin, the love hormone. Men release some, but women release a flood. That flood is designed to glue her emotionally to one man for years, long enough to raise a helpless human child. But when that flood happens with partner after partner after partner, the brain starts to desensitize. It's the same mechanism that makes the 10th shot of whiskey feel like water. Studies on oxytocin receptor density show that repeated activation without long-term bonding can downregulate the system. Translation: she literally becomes less able to fall and stay deeply in love. That's why so many women with high counts say things like, "I love him," but the spark just isn't there anymore. It's not that she's lying. It's that the ancient machinery for lifelong bonding has been worn down by short-term use. And men feel it. We feel it in our bones when the woman we're with can't fully surrender, when her eyes wander, when she needs constant novelty to feel desired. We feel it, and we blame ourselves. If you're still watching, comment the number that would make you walk away. Then there's the comparison monster. Once a man knows his woman has been with dozens of men, every future bedroom moment becomes a silent competition with ghosts. Every time she's a little less enthusiastic, his brain whispers, "She used to scream for someone else." That thought isn't insecurity. It's a survival circuit firing. Am I still the best option this woman has ever had? Because if the answer ever becomes no, biology predicts she'll start looking. And the data backs him up. Some of us are starting to call female promiscuity what it actually is when taken to excess: toxic femininity. Toxic masculinity is a man abusing his physical strength to hurt, dominate, or exploit. Toxic femininity is a woman abusing her sexual power to manipulate, extract, or discard men while facing almost zero physical risk. A man has to be willing to go to prison to destroy lives with violence. A woman only has to open her phone or her legs. That's why your disgust isn't hypocrisy. It's symmetry. In both cases, the toxicity arises from perverting adaptive traits, male strength for conquest, female allure for selection, into selfish pursuits that harm the opposite sex and society at large. Recognizing these as mirrored toxicities highlights why men have such a visceral adverse reaction to female promiscuity. It's not mere hypocrisy, but a hardwired response to an imbalance where women can abuse their sexual power with far less effort or consequence than men can wield violence. Addressing both requires cultural norms that channel these powers constructively: strength toward guardianship, sexuality toward committed bonds, rather than allowing them to devolve into hedonistic or manipulative vices. Men also worry, on a very practical level, about higher STI risk, even with testing, higher chance she's carrying emotional baggage or unresolved trauma, higher chance her family background is chaotic, statistically correlated, higher chance she sees relationships as temporary rather than sacred. But the deepest wound of all is the one nobody talks about: the loss of exclusivity as a love language. When a man chooses one woman and stays loyal, he's offering something rare and valuable. When he discovers her past wasn't the same, it feels like the contract was never equal. He gave her his one shot at immortality. She gave him one chapter in a very long book. That's not jealousy. That's asymmetry. Now let's talk about the double standard, because this is where the shaming really kicks in. Why is it okay for men to have high body counts but not women? Here's the answer evolution doesn't care if you like. Men and women had completely different reproductive constraints. A man can father a child in minutes and walk away. A woman is pregnant for 9 months, nursing for years, and biologically limited to a handful of children. That asymmetry created two completely different optimal mating strategies. Men spread genes widely, compete for status, accept some risk of cuckoldry if it means more offspring. Women be extremely selective, secure the absolute best genes and protection possible, because each child is a massive investment. That's why men evolved to care far more about sexual exclusivity than women do. It's not hypocrisy. It's math. It's the result of eons of evolution. Women still have double standards. They just hide them better. They want taller men, richer men, higher status men, stronger men, even if they themselves are short, broke, low status, or weak. Nobody calls that hypocrisy. We call it biology. Imagine shaming a woman for wanting a man who can protect her and her children. You can't, because nobody does. But shame a man for wanting a woman who hasn't been with enough men to staff a soccer team? That's mandatory. The difference? Society celebrates women's standards and shames men's. But nature doesn't care about celebration or shame. It only cares about what worked through hundreds of thousands of generations. And what worked was men choosing women who had proven, through their choices, that they could be loyal, bonded, and committed. The men who chose wisely left descendants. The men who didn't. That's why the preference is burned into your DNA. It's why, no matter how much society and people adhering to novel ideologies scream at you, the thought of a woman with a high body count still makes something inside you recoil. It's not hate. It's not malice. It's self-preservation. So what do you do with this knowledge? Here's your permission slip you never needed. Stop apologizing. Stop explaining. Raise your standards without a single ounce of guilt. The men who settle end up in quiet regret. The men who listen to their biology build empires and bloodlines. If you're done swallowing the lie that your instincts are the problem, drop a respectful comment so every man watching knows he's not alone. Like this video right now, not for me, for every brother still carrying the shame. Subscribe and turn on notifications. New PME video every Thursday. You're not broken. You're awake. This is prime male evolution. You're in your prime. Act like it.